Jackson, and I'm a lifestyle athlete. Now, before you assume I'm gonna douche out and talk bro science, if you're watching this, I'm willing to bet you're a lifestyle athlete too. Like many of you, I'm in my early 20s and I don't compete in anything sport related, but I like to pick things up, put them back down, eat delicious food, and keep my girlfriend as physically attracted to me as I possibly can. Long story short, I like to lift heavy weights, but Taco Tuesday and glasses of wine are far more important to me than a shredded six-pack. And Chloe likes me with a little bit of extra gravy anyway.
Stop! 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 I said stop!
So what I'm gonna share with you guys in this video is how I try to stay somewhat studly to the untrained eye. And yes, mustache included. Now, the term lifestyle athlete might not be something you've heard before, but that's because the word athlete is usually reserved for people competing in sports or doing something physically competitive. And I think many of you, just like me, fall under the category of wanting to stay fit and be in shape, not because you're competing, but just because that's a personal standard for yourself. It's something you want. Now, what does training look like for this lifestyle athlete? Well, I lift like a power builder and burn calories like a grandma. Let me explain. Now, I'm not one of those gotta get it done first thing in the morning kind of guys. However, my training usually, but not always, does start kind of first thing in the morning with a nice solid 5,000 to 10,000 step walk. I like walking because I rarely have to convince myself to do it, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I get the f down while I'm out there. Can't explain for the life in me what you did. But the greatest part about being a lifestyle athlete is I don't have to set a whole lot of rules or expectations for myself because I'm not necessarily training for anything competitive. So oftentimes I substitute different forms of cardio like swimming, surfing, or taking my mother's step aerobics class. But the main point is that if I don't get my cardio done first thing in the morning, it does not ruin my day. I just make up for it later, usually in the form of steps. As a lifestyle athlete, I like to train for what's important to me. And that for me is fashion. Shame me for vanity all you want. I was almost 300 pounds, so you bet your ass when I want to rock some skin tight jeans and a fitted t-shirt, I'm gonna full send that business. Now, how I go about training is actually really simple. In the weight room, I lift like a power builder. To those of you who don't know what that means, I focus on starting my lifting sessions with heavy, low rep compound movements, and then I usually finish it up with some higher rep isolation movements for that skin blistering, panty dropping pump. Now, as far as my lifting split, I've tried it all, but I found my home with a solid twice a week push-pull legs split. So on my push days, I train my chest, shoulders, and triceps. On my pull days, I train my back and biceps. And then on my leg days, I train my legs. The leg one doesn't happen as often as it should, perhaps. Now, with all this training, you may be asking yourself, what does the lifestyle athlete eat? Well, once again, it's really not too complicated. I found the online fitness culture back when I was 14 years old and became obsessed with looking shredded. Amidst my obsession, I set way too unrealistic expectations for myself and developed chronic binge eating disorder, which led to me putting on 100 pounds faster than you can say thick boy. And I hated myself as a result until I finally cured my relationship with food and myself and lost the weight. And it really makes sense when you think about it. Most of the fitness industry is physique competitions and bodybuilding where you purposefully undereat to get shredded to stand on stage and then feel bad about yourself when you're not shredded. As a lifestyle athlete, this is a no-no. So listen up. The last thing you need to do, especially as a lifestyle athlete, which most of us are, is start labeling foods as good or bad. When we start saying certain foods are good and certain foods are bad, there is now unnecessary shame attached to when we eat certain things. And the less shame you can have in your life, the better. The more you feel like you're on the right path, the more over-delivering you're gonna do for yourself. And since we're not training for anything specifically aside from just our lifestyle, anything goes. And when everything is up for grabs, the get back on Monday myth loses its power because you realize how much you don't actually want those bad foods. You just want to rebel from the rule you set for yourself. But now that that's out of the way, the lifestyle athlete routine is actually pretty simple, or at least mine is. I loosely follow an IIFYM style of eating, or in other words, if it fits your macros. I say loosely because I only really track calories and protein instead of tracking all of the other macronutrients. I find that when I track too specifically, my quality of life suffers, so I just keep it simple. My current numbers look something like 2,200 calories with around 200 grams of protein. You see, since no foods are off limits to me, I rarely eat really shitty food just because I know I can have it whenever I want. It's incredible when you get rid of the rules in your head how much you don't want the things that you were once not allowed to have. And ultimately, I'm a creature of habit, so I like to eat basically the same stuff every day, and meal prepping is an absolute lifesaver, so I can just grab and go. And ultimately for diet, in my experience, the less rules you set for yourself and the less mental energy you put into the food that's going into your mouth, the better. Many of you are lifestyle athletes but just don't know it, so own it. Give yourself the credit. Meet yourself where you're at, stay in your own lane, and be consistent. And lastly, if you're struggling on your weight loss journey, then my weight loss program, the Fat to Fit Blueprint, may be the perfect catalyst you need to make this vision a reality, where I teach you the exact mindset shifts, diet hacks, and training principles to apply to your own fat to fit transformation. And remember, you deserve to like you now. So lifestyle athletes, that is going to wrap up this video, and I'm gonna leave you guys like I leave you every single video. Let's keep getting better together and keep on grinding. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.